Welcome back to Moon Harbor Heroes. Today's issue is Storyteller, issue 10, Schrödinger's Robot Ghost. On the cover, we see Rascal King, Machina, Riot Girl, Calico, and Mirage in the dark of a tunnel, facing the reader. Behind them, a towering shadow that looks partially ghost, partially robot, and partially monster looms, glowing red eyes and massive pincers aimed at our heroes. We turn the page and our story begins. The first panel of this comic is the storyteller's desk once again. On it we see a mug that says World's Best Teacher and an apple, as well as the comic he is currently finishing. He looks up and smiles, saying, "You're once again late for an important class, one that our heroes are doomed not to pass." As they investigate caverns, chasing a cry that sends their spines shivering and their mouths quickly dry. Their new school's a thrill and also quite frightening, rolling with thunder and crackling with lightning. And of this strange noise, what is the host? You'll find out in this issue, Schrödinger's Robot Ghost. He lifts the comic up to read it, hiding his face from the reader. The cover of the comic is the same as ours. We turn the page and our story begins. We have just seen this massive, earth-shattering, haunting cry filling up this entire cavern. And we open up on you all. What do you do?
That's definitely a ghost.
Are you sure, though? Because it could just be the wind.
I don't feel any wind.
Some weird sounding wind.
I have a question. Given my, affinity for and approximate, closeness to, death and undead things, would I be able to tell if that's a ghost?
Why don't you go ahead and roll to unleash your powers to extend your senses?
Oh, wish me luck, y'all. 11!
Yeah, that's definitely not a ghost. That is something else, but that is not a ghost. And with that, you can also tell that the sound is coming out of the water.
Oh, yeah. I'm, made of fire. I don't do water. I'm just gonna but I am gonna tell the group, hey, so that's not a ghost.
Weren't you the one who said ghosts were real?
Yeah, no,
I trusted you.
they are. If you want to meet one, we could just, go back to, the haunted house. I can show you a ghost. I can introduce you to Keeman. It's fine. But this is
Just nodding. Yeah.
I can show you a ghost, a good ghost, a cannibal witch ghost.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Yes, please.
Wait, but if that's not a ghost, what is it? That was loud.
It's coming from the water.
I'm gonna peer into the water.
Max, go ahead and roll and assess the situation.
Squire is also peering into the water. That's a 7.
All right, go ahead and ask one question.
What do I see when I peer into the water, first off?
So the water is not that deep. It's vaguely hot tub depth. It's probably about 3-ish feet deep. And you can see the bottom. You can see everything pretty clearly. There's some weird scratch marks across the bottom, but it's nothing too noticeable.
What here is in the greatest danger?
Right now, there is nothing supernatural in the water. So what is in the most danger right now is probably Quinn, because she is currently made out of fire. So, being around a lot of water and steam is probably not a great thing for someone who is made of magma.
Okay.
But you can tell that there's nothing in the water. The water is clear.
I'm gonna panel me standing on the edge of the water, turn back to the group. I don't see anything in here.
As you say that, there's another one of those oohing sounds. And you glance back and you see that on the bottom of part of the floor of the hot tub, hot springs area, one of the rocks is shaking way more violently than the rest are. It looks like it's not attached.
I'm just gonna point at it. There's something moving down there?
I think Amber takes a step forward and then looks down at her hands, which have a couple little sparks of electricity, and looks at the water and just kind of steps back maybe I shouldn't.
Hey, Riot Girl, you're really, really tall.
Well, I guess if nobody else is going to do it. And I walk over and stick my hand in the water and grab the thing that's moving around.
So yeah, the thing that's moving around is a flat piece of shale type rock. It is just a loose, flat piece of rock. But as you grab it and pull it up, you notice that underneath there's a 3-foot wide hole that seems to extend down. And all of the, as you pull it up, the sound gets louder.
Well, I don't think any of us are going to fit through there.
Let me rephrase. I'm going to say it's about a 5-foot wide hole. You could definitely fit.
And the hole is underwater, right?
Yep, it's like an underwater tunnel.
Well, it looks like our ghost or whatever it is through there. So who's going first?
Who knew these caves? Where's this go?
No clue. Let's find out. And as I approach, I'm going to kind of de-transform. I'm going to turn back into myself. If that makes any sense?
Yep, totally.
Okay. And I'm just going to, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to summon one of my cats to kind of, actually my cats are made out of, nope, that's not going to happen either. So yeah, we're just going to jump right in. I don't have any powers that aren't fire-based. I could eat your guys' souls while we're underwater, but that's it. Sorry.
Perfect. So as you go down, it's about like a 6-foot dive, and then like the tunnel flattens up and then quickly like extends upwards. And you come up to an air pocket, probably after like 8 or 9 seconds of swimming. It's not too long. And you are in a secondary tunnel now. It is dark because you are not currently glowing, so it is pitch black and you can't see anything. But you are in a secondary tunnel.
Can I hold my hand out of the water and have just my hand transform and just kind of light up the immediate area to get an idea of if it's safe for me to actually climb out?
Yep, you do that, and it just opens up to a pretty massive hallway. Essentially, you can climb out of the water and then just walk along this hallway as far as it goes. You can't actually see the end of the hallway based on your hand glowing.
Well, in that case, I'm going to do the full body thing again.
Excellent. And we see you light up all the way as you get out of the water, fully transform. And we just get this shot of you and this long, long, long hallway all lit up by your fire. And then we're going to cut back to the rest of the group. It's been probably about 20 seconds since Quinn leapt in the water, and she has not returned.
Amber goes over to Max and is kind of quiet when she says over to him. So is now a bad time to mention that I don't know how to swim?
I mean, not the best, but probably better than once we were in there.
Cool. Also, there's the hole. If I get in that water's going to be pretty electrified.
Huh. Maybe we can find another way around?
Amber's kind of shrugging well, I sure hope that's not a long tunnel.
Sword Girl looks at all of you and is like, okay, well, if no one else is going to go, I'll go then. And she jumps into the water and dives down. And she shows up next to Quinn. And her head pops out and you hear a splash coming from behind you, Quinn.
Oh, hey.
And she's like, oh, you're not dead. That's exciting. We thought you might be dead.
Only inside. Do you need help?
Yeah, that'd be great. And she instead of offering you her hand, she starts passing you sword after sword after sword. Because she's going to climb out on her own, but she can't do it with sword strapped to her body. So she just hands you pile after of sword.
Okay, yeah, that's okay.
And then we see her get out and she's like, I wonder how far these walls are. And she turns and she bangs on the wall. And you all on the other side hear a banging on the rock next to you all.
Huh. Well, I guess we found our other way. Hopefully, I mean, I could try to punch through if we're all okay with potentially dying in avalanche of rock if the cave collapses.
I think that sounds like the best option here.
Do it.
Yeah, or I could just totally electrify everybody in the water. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, with Amber's plan, we definitely die.
With my plan, we only might die. All right, that's what I'm going to do then. And you all watch as Riot Girl pulls back to do a punch, and you hear these pistons in her gauntlet engage, and the gauntlet just springs forward and punches at the wall.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll to unleash your powers to see how that goes.
That is a 8 on the dice, plus 1 for a 9 total.
All right. Do we want to spend team to bump that up to a 10?
I want to create a psychic sledgehammer and help out.
Perfect. That is a 10. And the two of you, we have 0 team now. The two of you, swing your hand, or your your steampunky fist and your hammer at the wall, and it, crashes and blasts a hole. And there's a bunch of dust and dirt and debris in the air. And then we look back and you all can see through the open hallway your other teammates. Everyone's standing kind of in the same vicinity now.
And they're now covered in bits of rock. And I like put my gauntlets up to my mouth and I say, "Oh, sorry, I should have warned you before I did that."
Charlie's just going to like go past everyone and rush forward again.
All right, going down the hallway, same order as last time.
That sounds good.
Sounds like a good plan.
Sweet. So as you are running down, we hear that oohing again, but this time it doesn't sound like an ooh. It sounds like a mechanical, like something. It's a mechanical whir that I guess like when it moved through the water and the pipings, like the piping of this tunnel system, made this like ooh sound.
Oh my god, it's a robot ghost.
Not a ghost.
Well, yeah, it's a robot ghost.
Wait,
You can hear the tick, tick, tick.
would robots have ghosts?
Ever?
I don't know. I guess we could find out. I sure hope they have ghosts. That'd be really cool.
I'll have to ask.
Wouldn't that kind of like suck though? Because like the whole thing about ghosts, at least usually, is that they're spirits left with unfinished business. And if robots have ghosts, then that's just a whole nother group of presumably, possibly like sentient beings that are now left to like wander, I don't know, like Earth or the internet or something with unfinished business. And that's sad.
Okay, you're right. Let's hope it's not a robot ghost.
Yeah, I guess. But also, damn, a robot ghost would be pretty cool.
And then you all hear this like it sounds very similar to Riot Girl's gauntlet. It's very like hissing of steam and like steam blowing through pipes and making like almost like wind kind of sound. And everything is it's very steampunk sounding. There's like sounds of like gears turning and that kind of thing. And you see a light coming from down the tunnel a little bit away from you all. Like they can probably not hear whatever is on the other side of it, cannot hear you yet, but you can hear it and see its light coming.
I mean, there's no way that it's like a bad guy, right? Not beneath Paradigm Academy.
No way.
I mean, but we also don't know if it's a good guy.
Well, let's go find out.
Maybe it's not a guy at all.
Are we back on the machine ghost?
Yeah, let's go meet Schrödinger's robot ghost.
All right, Charlie, you are in the front. Are you like being stealthy as you're creeping around this corner? Are you just like running into this open cavern? Where are you going?
Charlie is trying to be stealthy. At this point, they have put an illusion over their bright pink hair, so that way, like, I think they just made it black, so that way it like is dark, or maybe like a dark brown, because then that probably blends in with the cave walls better. And they're moving quickly, but they are trying to be stealthy about it.
Excellent. So you are in the front as you peek around this corner with your hair disguised to match the cave walls. You see what looks like a 12-foot tall steampunk style mech. Like think like I can't think of any good analogs. If any of you have played Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door, that's the analog that's coming up right now, is like that style of like machinery that like some of the bigger villains had. But it is essentially 12 feet tall. It has like a domed glass top. There's a figure inside, but they're facing away and you can't see who that is. And then the body is this like red and like rust colored mech body. Each of the two hands has this like 3-pronged pincer on it. Charlie, what do you do?
Has it noticed me?
No, it is facing away from you. It has not seen you yet.
And just for clarification, does it look like it's working on something, or is it just like standing there?
It is definitely working on something.
I want to sneak around and see what it's working on.
Cool, go ahead and roll to assess the situation.
That's an 8.
Excellent, so you get to ask one question. I'll tell you what you see first as you like sneak around. As you are like sneaking around, you see that it's got some sort of like glowing sphere of energy floating between its two like extended pincers. And it's like using the pincers really, really delicately to like pluck at pieces of that energy and like maneuver them into like fine threads that it is moving around. But you can't really get a clear glimpse of like what exactly that energy is. Just that it is a glowing ball. What question would you like to ask?
I guess the thing that I want to know is, and to phrase it using the assess the situation questions, is like, what here can I use to figure out what its purpose is, like what that stuff is, to know whether or not like this is something we should definitely stop, or maybe we just don't have enough information, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. So as you are looking around the room, you come up sidling along one wall, and your hand touches a paper taped to the wall. And if you turn and glance and like look at the paper, it's talking about like hero energy and the ability to. The papers on the wall are like spells and graphics and diagrams and all sorts of hypotheses about how to take powers away from heroes. So that information might give you a clue about what he's working on.
Okay, well, if this is about taking powers away from heroes, then I am going to get into some trouble here. How far away are these like thread things that it's like working with?
About 15 feet away, it's across the room. You're pretty close to
Cool.
this thing.
Can I make a psychic axe and throw it at the threads / its claw hand things?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll to directly engage a threat.
Cool.
But before you do that, that would be us entering battle against a dangerous foe as a team. So let's activate a team move really fast, y'all. Who do we think is the leader in this situation?
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
You
feel
go
like
first, leader.
this might be one of the few times that happens.
I mean, you're the one with the psychic axe. What do you want us to say?
Because this team has just come together, I know that Charlie does not have influence over everybody. So that's not an extra team there. Charlie, what is your purpose in this fight?
To stop this thing from doing what it's doing and taking away people's powers.
Excellent. Let's go Amber.
I guess once she knows that information, her purpose is like this is the same.
Great. Cassidy, what is your purpose in this fight? Assuming that we'll go out of character, that you all know all this information already.
Yeah, assuming that I know that information, then yeah, I have the same purpose.
Let's go to Quinn. Quinn, what is your purpose?
Same. To stop him.
Cool. Max, what is your purpose?
I feel like you saved me for last on purpose. I want to look really cool in front of my new friends.
Yeah, I knew that was your purpose, which is why I asked you last.
Just waiting for it.
Does any member distrust the leader of the team?
Nope, not that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't know her well, but I don't like distrust her.
They're new friends that have been kind of nice to me. I trust them all implicitly.
Yeah, Glam Glow Girl's not here. I trust everybody.
Yeah, Sword Girl's with you all too. And I don't think you're ill prepared or off balance. You all came expecting a fight with a ghost. This is not a ghost, but you are still like coming for a fight. So I don't think you're ill prepared or off balance. So that is 2 team there.
I just have all these useless salt shakers.
Cool. So, Barrage, go ahead and roll to directly engage a threat.
That's a 10.
Perfect. Choose 2.
I would like to impress, surprise, or frighten and take something from them.
Excellent. What are you going to take from them?
I would like to just like get them to not be working with the string anymore, whether that means that like I damage one of their hands or just get its attention, whatever that takes that you like narratively.
Cool. I'm going to say either option is fine. You can either damage it or you can knock it out, like cut the string so it falls out of their hands. Go ahead and tell me what that panel looks like and you can make the decision. I'm good with either option.
Okay. So then how this looks is there's this like Charlie dressed in like all black with now the dark brown hair that is actually much closer to her natural hair color, sneaks around this robot to see that string, and we get like a close-up of her face as she realizes what's happening, and then there's this soft like pink glow on her face, and then we zoom out in the next panel to see that she has this axe in her hand, and then the next panel is just it like flying and it hits the string and severs it.
Perfect. And that string, or that glowing globe immediately dissipates. And the mech like whips around to like look at you, but as it whips around, it kind of loses its balance and tumbles backwards and hits a wall. As it hits the wall, the big dome on top slides open, like emergency ejection style, and you all see the face of Norman Parr, who is your vice principal.
Oh yeah, have the rest of us gotten into this room yet?
Yeah, you all are in the doorway now. Like, you would have stepped through just in time to see her throw this axe.
Hey, you were only pretending to be supportive, weren't you? God, I said you were better than Lynx.
And he looks at you and he says, "No, I wasn't pretending to be supportive, Max. I don't know what any of you kids are doing down here, but I'm here because I believe that no one needs powers to be a hero. I want to take powers away from everyone here so we all can embrace the heroism inside us. Max, don't you ever feel resentful that these people with powers show you up when you have a true heart of a hero?" And he looks at Cassidy and he says, "Cassidy, you too. You are a hero through and through, and you've got tech and you've got tools, and don't you hate it when this," and he points to Mirage, and he's like, "this poser comes in and throws her powers around."
First off, I started out working with villains, and you would know that if you ever actually read any of our student files. But second of all, I don't really appreciate you calling my friend here a poser, so I suggest that you stop what you're doing and turn yourself into Paradigm before we make you.
"I'm so sorry, but I can't let that happen." And he points the one of the pincer arms at you, and it starts to spin, and it launches towards Machina. Was next in the lineup, so it's probably going to hit Machina first.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try to defend.
Cool. What are you doing to stop it?
Oh, I'm literally just reaching out with my gauntleted hand, and it's gonna spring forward with an open hand instead of a fist, and try to grab the pincer before it hits Machina.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll to defend for me.
Woof. Okay, not great because my savior isn't good. So that is a 5.
We can spend both of our 2 team, or that can be a mark potential.
I think we should save the team. So
All right. So your hand just gets knocked aside as the pincer comes forward, and it catches Machina. Machina, you immediately feel your power start to drain. It's a very magical drain. This doesn't feel like a energy is draining from your suit. It feels like something is like zapping your powers. Machina, go ahead and roll to take a powerful blow for me.
God damn.
All right, so that's a 9. So on a 7 and 9, choose one.
I'm going to lash out verbally. I would like to shout at Max, "Go show him what you do best. Create a distraction."
All right, go ahead and roll that provoke.
Yep, totally have a great superior. Actually, that's significantly better than my usual superior. So 7.
All right, so is he getting the carrot or the stick?
Carrot. If he does it, add a team to the pool.
All right, Max, you gonna distract?
Yeah, can you set the scene again real quick? Like where Norman is and such?
Yep, so Norman is about 20, 25 feet away from you all. His pincer hand is attached to him via like a chain and has just like launched itself at Machina and attached to her. You all are standing in a group with the exception of Charlie, who's a little bit across the room, Mirage, who's a little bit across the room, who has just thrown an axe at him, and he spun and saw all of you and is now attacking.
Okay, I'm gonna just run straight towards him, scooping up Squire as I do, and throw her at him as soon as I can.
That sounds like a directly engaging a threat.
Oh, this is gonna go great. My danger is so good.
I believe it. Go ahead and roll to directly engage a threat for me.
That's a 5.
Excellent. As you like are about to like jump and like attack the robot, the second pincer grabs you and like lifts you to his face, and he's looking dead you and looking at you dead in the eyes, and he's like, "Max, don't let these superpowered people push you around. You are a better hero than they ever be. You don't have to hide behind any stupid powers. Come with me, join me."
Yeah, I don't need powers, but you're not taking away theirs. They're really cool. And it'd be cool if they would do something with them.
Can I step in?
Yeah, don't look at me. I'm trapped in
Go
a
ahead,
pincer.
Quinn.
So I've been talking about being able to do this for a while. I'm going to eat his machine's soul.
All right. When you reach out to eat the machine's soul, it's not a ghost. It's just like the machine.
It's basically like it's not necessarily eating its soul per se. It's more like devouring their essence, I guess is the best way to phrase it.
Cool. Go ahead and roll to directly engage a threat on the machine.
Oh, to directly engage. Oh, we're fucked. Okay.
That would be taking something from them. It would be taking the soul away.
See, I was hoping that it was like using my powers, but it's not. So it's a -2. So I got a 4.
Perfect.
Oh my god. Why are we sucking shit today?
It's okay. What does it look like when you when you unleash your powers to devour the soul?
So it's basically like I kind of hold out one of my hands and it glows with this like red smoke, and then like whatever entity I'm attempting to like eat the essence of has like that same red glow. And normally it would be like that red essence would join my red essence, and then they would either like weaken, die, or in the case of like the one other time that I ate a robot's quote unquote soul, it exploded.
Perfect. So your red essence stretches out, and as it gets close, it doesn't even get all the way to the robot itself. It gets close to the pincher, and you see this green essence come off the pincher, and your essence gets weaker and weaker the closer it gets to the pincher. And then the green essence starts glowing along yours. And it kind of forces itself back to you. And you get barreled over by this intense force of energy. And go ahead and take a powerful blow for me.
I knew it. 6.
All right, tell me how you weather the blow.
So I like to imagine that I do get like bowled over and I kind of do like that tumbling backwards thing. And then I finish on like the hero pose where I just kind of like land, and it's like that stabilizing where it's like one hand down and the other hand is like readying for an attack, and my legs are kind of like stabilizing.
Perfect. As you fall backwards, I think Mirage has a second to react. Mirage, what do you want to do?
Sorry, could you just reestablish the scene for me?
Absolutely. So currently Max is being held in one of the two pincers, right in front of Norman's face. Amber is being held by the other pincer across the way, 25 feet away from the machine. She is struggling and kind of waving in the thing. She looks like she's hurting. Riot Girl shot an attack at the pincer that got knocked aside. Quinn just got knocked backwards by a green glowing energy. Sword Girl is standing there looking very upset and surprised and not really sure what to do.
How tall is this thing? And also, does it have a head that might be its center processing thing?
So it's about 12 feet tall, and there was a dome across the top of it that sprung open, and his head is inside that dome. You can see his hands are not he's not controlling the mech by moving his arms and legs to move the mech. He's got levers and stuff on the inside. It is very steampunky. It is very he maneuvers everything via joysticks and that kind of thing.
Okay. Mirage would like to take a quick moment, get down on one knee, make a psychic, I want to say crossbow, and aim for him and the joysticks, and hopefully get him to just drop everyone.
Fantastic. That sounds like taking something from them. So go ahead and roll to directly engage a threat.
Damn it, that's a 4.
He sees the bolt of energy coming, and it passes right by Max's shoulder. And the psychic energy is passing, and then that same green aura that attacked Quinn earlier grows out of the claw and just grabs the bolt and pulls it back in. And he throws Max to the side and sends Max careening, and then launches his body at you. Claw extended hand style. He's gonna grab at you. Someone probably have a second. I think Riot Girl probably has a second, or Quinn probably has a second to react and defend, or Mirage could do something to stop him from barreling towards her.
I can try.
Cool. What do you want to do to defend Mirage?
I'm going to, because it's Max being thrown at her, right?
No, he threw Max to the side, and then he launched himself.
Okay, then yeah.
And then Mech is launching at her.
Okay, so I'm going to summon one of my cats to kind of knock Mirage out of the way.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll to defend.
So this one, I don't have a negative on. I actually have a positive. I got a 9.
Woo! Does anyone want to spend team to bump that up, or are we going to keep that as a 9?
I have a way to spend team, kinda.
Cool. You are currently flying backwards through the air. What do you want to do?
It wouldn't be me. Could we get Squire running up the back of the machine and just causing a bit of havoc in the cockpit?
Absolutely. All right, so that is a 10 then. You keep them safe and choose one. Add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I only have one condition. So let's go ahead and add one team to the pool.
Perfect. So we spent a team, and then we got that team immediately back. Love that.
Yeah.
So that is a 10. So yeah, he's about to hit, and it doesn't look like the psychic jaguar is going to get there in time. And then Squire like pops out of the cockpit and just like knocks him slightly off balance, so his hand veers slightly to one side, and the jaguar knocks Charlie out of the way. Riot Girl, you haven't moved for a second. He just launched himself across the room. What do you want to do?
Looking around, seeing all the chaos that's going on, Riot Girl is just gonna like crack her giant gauntleted knuckles and punch her fist into the palm of her other hand and say, "When in doubt, punch it out." So I'm gonna rush forward and try to just punch the ever-living hell out of this machine.
Great, go ahead and roll to directly engage the threat.
That is an 11.
All right. So on an 11, you pick 2.
So I would like to take something from them, the machine's functionality, and I would like to resist or avoid their blows.
Excellent. Tell me what that looks like as you kind of disable this machine temporarily.
I think there's like a split-second moment in the panel where Squire is still in the cockpit causing havoc, and Riot Girl just rushes forward, and the pistons engage on her fist, and it's just like a full panel shot of the knuckles coming straight for Squire before Squire jumps out of the way, and then the fist just goes directly through the center of the machine, and like you see whatever power core or whatever is inside of it just gets punched out the other side.
Perfect. It's a lot of like piping and like there's a big puff of steam, and the like robot hits the ground and rolls and like bounces, and like we hear this like pretty loud crashing sound.
Is anything in the pincers released?
Oh yeah, the pincer releases and like springs back towards the body.
Okay, so I can finally do stuff.
Yep. And then Sword Girl kind of looks at Amber and is like, "I'm going in." And then Sword Girl rushes and like swings a sword in, and the pincer like pushes out. Like the machine is down on the ground and not moving, but the pincer still reacts and just like shoots and pins Sword Girl to the ceiling via this pincer.
Man, I would love to help her, but if she's on the ceiling, I can only do so much. I want to get up to the cockpit of the robot.
Cool. I want you to roll to unleash your powers to overcome the obstacle and get there.
Oh, okay. Oh, hell yeah, that's a 10.
All right. So give me a cool badass panel of you like dodging out of the way of the second pincer. Give me like a cool, what does it look like?
Yeah, I think as it comes from above. She like flattens herself against a stalagmite is the one that comes from the ground. She flattens herself against a stalagmite, and it just like passes within an inch of her. And then she turns to go immediately and try to like climb up this robot. Like the power core is out, but it could still be put back in and used. I gotta wipe this shit.
Cool. This machine is pretty much all steampunk, and like it's all levers, and there's not a lot of actual tech involved in it. It's very like rudimentary, very no hardware. So you could break it, but you probably couldn't wipe it.
I'll just break off a lever in frustration.
Perfect. You do that. You snap off a lever, and you hear him like cry out, and he's like, "No, wait, I needed that." And he's like trying to like half crawl out of the cockpit and has to like maneuver it, but also there was like a big hole blasted, and he's like kind of pinned in there by some debris. And I'm gonna say probably Quinn's turn to move now.
So I have an idea, and it's something that Quinn has never done before. So I'm going to use, on my Doom track, I have infinite power. So I'm going to mark a Doom so that I can gain any power from any playbook. I'm going to take elemental control from the Nova playbook. I'm going to mark my Doom track, which I hate. I hate doing that. I hate marking my Doom track. And I'm going to choose the ability to control water. And I'm going to attempt to use the water to kind of like get into the systems of the machine and just fuck it up. And if I can, I want to get him to crystallize into ice and just destroy it.
Excellent. There's a lot of steam running through there, so if you crystallized all that steam, it would probably just destroy it. Go ahead and roll to unleash your powers for
Okay,
me.
wish me luck, y'all, because this could be bad. 13!
All right, you do it. It crystallizes, and we just hear pipes burst. And, like, shards of metal are just, like, raining out of the chest of this thing. And you see Norman just being like, no. And you see him kind of just, like, crumple. And he's like, I just wanted a world that was equal. I want everyone to be equal. And I want to know that we don't need powers to save people. I just wanted to be a hero.
You don't need powers to save people, but taking away powers from people who are helping people isn't helping anyone.
Yeah, sounds kind of villainous to me.
Take it from the chick who used to work with villains. That's pretty villainy.
Max walks up, wiping a bloody nose. Yeah, I don't have powers, and I never did crap like this.
Yeah, damn, like, you're worse than my dad.
And he looks up at all of you and he's like, after a lifetime of being pushed down by people like you, and he gestures at all of you, of course I reacted badly.
Can
And
Squire
then-
smack him? Just like right in the face.
Yeah, Squire can smack him.
And then Amber wants to high five Squire.
Wait, I was never mean to you? What the hell?
Not you specifically, people like you. It's the people with powers who think they're entitled to everything. And then you all hear a ticking start.
There's a self-destruct, isn't there?
Of course there's a self-destruct.
He's a machine ghost, never run out of tricks.
I am going to look at him one last time and be like, yeah, just stereotyping everybody with powers is such a heroic thing to do. Great job. And then I'm grabbing Squire and getting the hell out of this machine.
Perfect. You're in a pretty small cavern. It's probably only about 35 feet across. I don't know how big this explosion's going to be, but I might run if I were you. And you see Sword Girl looking at all of you. She has fallen from the ceiling when the pins are retracted after all the like pipes expanded, and Sword Girl just takes the fuck off.
I'm going to summon my jaguars for anybody that needs one to get out, and I'm going to just grab the vice principal, throw him over a jaguar, and just book it.
Yeah, I've got Squire under an arm and I'm just booking it.
I'll jump on a jaguar as I run.
Right, girl, you jumping on a Jaguar?
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll probably jump on one too.
Mirage, what about you? Jumping on Jaguar?
Sorry, yes.
Awesome. So we get a panel of everyone on these Jaguars. Sword Girl's in front of you all, but she's not part of the group right now. And we get a panel of you all like speeding around a corner and just running through this hallway as this like massive like fiery explosion just like booms, and like we get the like cool action shot of like explosion behind all of you, and you all like make it through the opening that Cassidy punched earlier. You like jump out of it and jump to the side, and the fire just explodes out of the entranceway. And you all look up and you see Glam Glow Girl standing there, mouth wide open, just staring at all of you. And she's like, "What the hell happened with the ghost?"
Oh my god!
It wasn't a ghost. It was a machine ghost.
So it's probably a bit too scary for you.
And considering the way she ran off screaming, I'm sure like a fly would be too scary for her.
Okay, so like 100%, like at this point, it's just we're going to my sanctuary. I'm gonna show you what a real fucking ghost looks like, because that was not a ghost.
Okay, I'm into that.
Oh, also Triple G, I'm out. I'm out of girl power. I'm done.
Oh, snap.
Like I saw today what like true teammates do for each other. So yeah, I'm out.
Squire wants to give Cassidy a high five.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
Cassidy like if initially reels back, but then like daintily like taps Squire's palm with like the index finger on her gauntlet, and then she turns to the rest of the group and she says, "What do y'all say? Why don't we make our own girl power, or
Yes.
person power, people power?"
We could totally come up with a cooler name than that.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless Rascal King wants to be like Raccoon Boy Girl or something.
I'm okay with that.
All right, and I think we see the last shot of this is like you all like walking to the mouth of the cave, and we get a really cool shot of like the moon just starting to come up over the bay in front of you, and we get this like really amazing shot of like the 5 of you just or 6 of you, counting Squire, the 6 of you just silhouetted by the moon. And I think that is the last panel of this comic.
Do we get a bonus issue in Quinn's sanctuary of Max meeting the ghost?
I think after the letters to the editor.
You're right. So we get like the credits page, and then there's a post-cred scene where I don't know who all's there, but we get Quinn introducing Max to the ghost.
My sanctuary is literally just like a dilapidated, haunted house with like a magic basement.
Excellent.
That's it.
I'm here for this.
And it's literally, so in the basement is just like this magical library where like the dead god that's in my head can't find me. And it's protected by like a ghost that was a witch, and she lived for like a really, really long time by like eating people. But then she was ultimately killed, and now her ghost is trapped at like this location specifically.
Fantastic.
All right, can we get the panel where she like appears? Is she just like always there, or does she like materialize? What does that look like?
I assume she's like always there. But yeah, she just kind of like, when we get past the like really horrible entrance, because it's really difficult to actually get inside of the building, she'll just kind of like rise out of the ground.
I think we had a couple panels of Max like looking this ghost up and down, and then just going, "So Quinn told me you used to be a machine."
No!
I think we see that the no is like a pullback shot of the haunted house, and the no is just like echoing from like your tiny silhouette. And I think that is the last panel of this comic. Our final page shows the storyteller, feet up on his desk, like a cool college professor. He looks up at us, and with a disinterested look, he says, "It seems our 2 heroes fit in quite well, making friends even before their first school bell. They've got a new team and teammates galore, and perhaps more adventures are waiting in store. We won't see right now, but we may return soon. For now I return you to the harbor of Moon." He stands up and leaves the panel, his feet moving to show the apple, now rotted, and the mug, now shattered, on the desk. And with that, our issue draws to an end.
Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets and TP Huth, and edited by Anthony Sheets. Anthony can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at IcyNewYear.com. T is the host of Incubator on Air, a new play podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. She can be found at T Huth Playwright on Twitter or TPHuth94 on Instagram. This issue was GM'd by T Huth. Charlie, or Mirage, was played by Vanessa Haas, who can be found playing the same character on Paradigm Academy, playing Scarlet Web on LGBT&D, playing Coral on holiday episodes of Corpses and Curios, or on Twitter as Alpaca My Books. Quinn, better known as Calico, was played by Weaver. You can catch more Calico over at Paradigm Academy. More Weaver can be found in LGBT&D and on Twitter at _apocalypse. Riot Girl was played by Thomas Fleming, GM of Paradigm Academy. He can be found on Twitter at DorksideVO. Machina is played by Elliot Peterson. She can be found at Elliot Yellen on Twitter. Rascal King is played by Anthony Sheets. He can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at IcyNewYear.com. Paradigm Academy is a Masks A New Generation podcast, hosted by Thomas Fleming. Follow them at ParadigmPod1 on Twitter. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. The music for this issue was Superpower Cool Dude by Kevin MacLeod. A link to his website and the license will be in the show notes. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on iTunes and tell a friend. Word of mouth and 5-star reviews are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out on patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus episodes each month. And thanks for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.